I'm with the champ, Shorty Torres. How's it going, my brother? How's life in general treating you?
It's great, man. I'm alive, so I can't complain. How about for you?
I'm warm now. I'm indoors because, like you said, over in the UK, it's a bit of a storm over here. But I'm warm. I'm happy. I'm speaking to you again. It's good to have you back. Let's go back to your last fight. Pretty impressive performance, my man. That combination, it was almost reminiscent of, remember Donald Cerrone and Rick Story?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was just like pow, and that was beautiful. Is the hands are coming well on the, especially on the flyweights. Like you suit the flyweight division. You know that yourself. You're not doing bantamweight again. I believe is that something that you just like went, I've done it, I've got it. Flyweight's for me.
Yeah, you look at my 7 fights. I've fought 4 at 35. I fought 3 at 25, the flyweight division. All the bantamweight fights, I've had 4 total. 2 of them have gone the distance, but I've, really beat up these guys. And then the other 2, I've been able to drop them, eventually get a choke out, and finish the fight. So my finishes at 35 are wins by submission. But my wins at flyweight, all 3 of them have been by knockout, either in the first or second round. So I know I have the power for the flyweight division. I know it's definitely there, and I put on an entertaining show. And I think, again, like what we're talking about off air, is that's what the UFC needs, is excitement in the flyweight division. You don't see many knockouts. You see more jiu-jitsu, which is great. I'm not downing jiu-jitsu whatsoever. Or you got guys going the distance like Jared Brooks. No one, and I'm not downing Jared Brooks and his performance. Like, good for him. But it's one of those things that people want exciting fights, whether it goes to the ground, whether it goes to the feet. And me, you watch any of my fights, even if I don't get the finish, even if I'm getting beat up, dropped, or whatever, I'm pushing the pace. And I know whoever I fight, whether it be Titan FC again or in the UFC, it's an exciting fight, win or lose.
That's one thing I've liked about the fact that when you're at 135 or 125, your conditioning didn't alter. Do you know, as in some people drop down that next weight class and it really takes a toll, and they got a good first round, and then after that everything just starts to deplete, and they just haven't got the resources to kind of keep going at that pace in the first. With you, I've not seen a difference in that. Is that just like, say, nutrition? Is he just kind of helped you in that sense with the letting your body drop the right way is the best way to put it, and also I imagine conditioning exercises that you do help.
Yeah, shout out to nutrition, and even shout out to my mother, because 2 reasons. With nutrition, the only reason I wanted to start working with Lou, and him and I were really in sync, was I had a horrible time. I was very traumatized in college. I even got cut off my wrestling, college team, and I didn't get to finish my senior year because I just couldn't make 25 anymore, and we make it every single weekend, and it's just exhausting. And I wasn't wrestling to win. I was wrestling to make weight and keep my scholarship, and I just wasn't motivated. Eventually, you cut weight so many times, your emotions just start going out of nowhere. You're hungry, you're thirsty, and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining. Plus, you have your grades and all that stuff, schoolwork to deal with. So I just didn't want to do it. So when I turned pro, I go, I'm fighting 35. I'm not doing 25. And Lex McMahon, everyone in Titan, and nutrition immediately were like, how about this? Try 35 a couple times, and then from there we'll move down to flyweight. Well, I ended up getting the flyweight opportunity, the fight for the vacant belt, and I ended up making 123, which is, just because the Titan F scale was much different than the Florida State Commission scale. I made 123, so I ended up doing more work to get it down, and I knew mentally, I was like, I'm not missing weight, I'm doing this, and it's 100% because of nutrition that I'm confident enough and healthy enough to fight at it. And 2, my mother, I started martial arts and I started sports when I was 4 years old. I was a 4-season person where I did 3 sports every single season, and then the 4th one was martial arts, and I did it all year round. So it was like, all right, take off your gi, go to baseball. Take off your gi, go to football. Take off your gi, do this. So I was always into something, and my mother was just pushing. And the last one, Master Bob, my coach still today, he was a Marine Recon, so he's one of those really, really tough guys that's just like, Shorty, you're alive. Come on, keep on going. Shorty, you're still walking. Keep on going. I'm like, all right. In amateur, I fought 25, 35, 45, 55, out of shape too, So mentally, I've been just 100% prepared for it, no matter if I'm tired or not. I think in my head, 15 minutes or 25 minutes, just push, push, push. It'll be all over, and I get to rest after.
And I noticed as well you train with TJ and Cub and just monsters. I've got to be honest, training with TJ must be insane, because that dude, with him and Dwayne, that kind of synchronized kind of bond that they have, it's bananas. The combinations he does, the footwork and everything. And Cub as well, he's so variable with what he does. Is that rubbed off on you with what they've done? You know, have you kind of went, dang, they got that confidence just to go and do it, and you've went, when I'm going out there, I'm going to rely on just confidence to go and throw those moves?
You know, I can tell you, I'm more of a boxer, and going with TJ, I feel comfortable with the boxing, but then he switches it up so well, not just with the boxing and kickboxing, but the transition to takedowns, and that's Dwayne Ludwig's style. Is everything's flowing to a takedown, everything's flowing no matter what stance, and you're just going, and I can tell you the first class I did at Dwayne Ludwig's school, even guys who don't fight and just doing the class, they were much better than me. I'm like, I'm just getting so aggravated because I feel like a white belt, I'm like, it's like if I'm getting tapped out every single time, but these guys are, I was like, what the hell's happening, And so, we start sparring, and I'm just like, I'm getting hit a lot more just because he moves so many different angles, and eventually, you spar with somebody so many times, you start to get their nicks and their movements, and I started to adapt, and I did 3 camps there, and I think now, and I really start to notice now, is I'm at American Top Team. They run things a little different. But when I start training with some of these guys, I'm like, oh, you stand right in front of me. Oh, you don't move as much. Oh, let me start moving. This is awesome. So I'm really starting to implement Dwayne Ludwig's style now, realizing that, wow, this really works. And it's been amazing. Plus, I'm doing a lot of pad work here, and I'm doing a lot of stand-up guys. I mean, I've trained with some of the best: Dotson, Barao, Josir Formiga, Pedro Munhoz, who fights tonight, TJ Cub, Diego Sanchez. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It could be Nurmagomedov, which was the main reason I got signed to Titan FC. So, I've gone with some of the best when it comes to mentally tough, great wrestlers, great sambo fighters, great kickboxing, great whatever. So, BJ Penn too. I've done some amazing things against some great guys, and all of them have kind of made me into what I am today, made me create my own style.
I gotta say, I would, even though I'm over 200 pounds, I would pass on rolling with Khabib. I just no. Just no.
He actually was the reason I got signed to Titan FC, which is crazy because Lex McMahon is from Florida, I'm from Chicago, but we meet somewhere in Bahrain, which is the pearl of the desert in the Middle East, right in the middle, a very small island, and it's like, okay, cool, you're just meeting random people. I knew nothing about Titan FC, and he knew nothing about me, and I ended up going with Alex Soto. He's like, hey, if Alex Soto is going too hard, he's a former bantamweight. He goes, if Alex Soto is going too hard and starts beating you up, I'll stop the match. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, cool, whatever. And I did very well. And then I started going with Khabib, and Khabib couldn't take me down a little bit. I would take down Khabib, and then eventually he started going really hard on me. He starts taking me down and beating me up. But he's like, man, this kid is going. I was going with a bunch of the Dagestani Eagle guys, Morad and Islam Makhachev and some of the guys. And I started going with Khabib, and Lex McMahon's like, who is this guy? I like him. I want to sign him. He's going with Khabib. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So I ended up getting the 4-fight contract. So again, every guy that I've sparred with has helped create my own little style. I'm very happy about it.
I know the American Top Team, they've got a very, very good kind of wrestling kind of coaching, and they're very strong with the wrestling. I've talked to fighters before who went over there and trained with ATT. I've got a couple of guys Jake Boswick, he's over there. He still trains with ATT. Obviously, had the great Brad Pickett, legend in those low weight classes. There's a lot of people I've spoke to, not just British fighters, but American guys at ATT. It must be, it's quite a lot of people in there. That's a big gym. That's a lot of people. Do you find that you kind of get a bit swallowed up by the amount of people there, and sometimes you feel like you're maybe not getting what you need, so to speak, or do you feel it's okay because you can kind of rub ideas off each other and just kind of flow in that way?
Actually, I'm really surprised you say that, and it's true. Some gyms will just overlook some of the newcomers that come in or guys they don't really know, but I've been to other big class gyms, and because I was the new guy coming up, they never really paid attention to me unless you were the UFC guy or the moneymaker or you had a couple belts. No one looked at me. But now I have 2 belts. I'm a 3-time defending champion. And I've done so much at a young age, very fast in 2 years. Actually, tomorrow will be my 2-year anniversary of going pro, and everyone's just like, Shorty, come train with Barao, come train with Formiga, come train with Pedro Munhoz. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. This is awesome. So I'm not treated as the newcomer anymore. I'm treated as the champion that they definitely want to invest in and go, this kid is going to hopefully be something one day. And it's crazy because we do the private classes where it's just drill. Yeah. And it's all Brazilian. And I was like, could I get a translator here? everyone's telling jokes, and I'm just like, yeah, like I don't know what's happening, but they're like making fun of me. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. So it's real cool to be respected at this high level, and yeah, I'm very happy because I'm getting a lot of work here, and I'm hoping Jamie Alvarez, some of the Ultimate Fighter guys that were on the Ultimate Fighter 24, get ready for their fights, whether it be for Titan or the UFC. So. I mean, this is easily one of the best, actually the best gym I've ever been to when it comes to everything in house. I mean, I don't have a car. I'm from Chicago, so I don't have to travel anywhere. Everything's here: jiu-jitsu, strength conditioning, pad work, and everything's in the package. You're not like at some gyms you pay for extra. Oh, want to do pads? Okay, it's this much per hour. It's this,
Yes.
Everything's in the package because they're just trying to take care of you and make it the best, possible fight. I'm like, this is the MMA Olympic Training Center. It's like a dream come true for every MMA fighter. So I'm chilling in the dorms right upstairs, so I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw the tour. They did Mike Brown did the tour of the place, and when they were obviously promoting the new facility, and it does look stupendous, absolutely amazing. It's just beautiful what they've done there. They've made very good, knowledgeable kind of design work on the way they've put the floor space out from previous experience with their old facilities, and it looks absolutely amazing. Like I don't live there, but I would love to go over there maybe just to train, just do a couple of weeks there, just to experience that kind of facility. It does look absolutely superb. Just an experience would be amazing.
It really is amazing, and they have multiple. I think they have like 16 rooms, and luckily most guys decide to move down to Florida and like get their own houses or apartments. But I mean, I got a room to myself. I don't have to share a room. I have the kitchen. There's a gigantic fridge. I have a mini fridge. Like everything is hooked up. There's cable here. Like anything I need to do, everything is here. Compared to I've been to other places where they have dorms. I'm staying in a room with 8 other people. If one person gets sick, we all get sick. There's no privacy. You can't take naps. Everyone's coming in and out. There's one really small kitchen, and everyone's cooking at the same time. So you're just like, God, I'm trying to figure something out. So I'm telling you, everything here is just worked amazingly.
So we're going from a victory in Titan FC, defending the belt, wonderful finish, to this card happening in Chicago. UFC are going to Chicago. Now, I said whenever I heard this card get announced to my friends, I said there's one person out there who's not signed to the UFC who would be ideal to be on that card. But why should you be on there, Jose? Why should you be on that card? Explain to people at home why we are trying to get you on that card.
There's just 2 things that come to mind. One is, I'm an exciting fighter. You look at the flyweight division, there's not many finishes. And if it is, it's jiu-jitsu. Again, I'm not downing jiu-jitsu, but if you're not an MMA fan and you're watching MMA fights, you don't want to see anything on the ground. You want to see a slugfest. You want to see people bloody, bruised, broken bones, all that stuff. I've done all that in my fights. Whether I've been cut, people have been cut, I've broken people's bones, I've broken bones. I've done so many things in my fights. It's been ridiculous. So I put people to sleep, whether through punches or through submission. I've slammed people. I'm a very showcasey, type of fighter. Win or lose, given I've won all my fights, knock on wood, but I've pushed the pace every single time, and that's 100% what the flyweight division needs. You look at some of these fighters, Demetrius Johnson's fought every single person. He hasn't fought the best of the best. He's fought everyone. So it's one of those things that they need someone new that's going to push the pace. One, I'm a 2-belt world champion. I'm a 3-time defending. I'm a 2-time amateur champ. When they say, oh, no one's fought someone like me, well, I can 100% say that. No one's been a 2-time world champ as an amateur. No one's done what I've done so fast in their career. Conor McGregor did, what Cage Warriors, the 2 belts at 14-2. I did it at 5-0, and I defended a belt, in the process, in which he's never defended a belt. No, not shunning Conor McGregor, but looking at stat-wise, it's huge. You look at Vasyl Lomachenko. He has hundreds of matches, and boxing has just endorsed that and really promoted him because of it. And you look how successful he's been. You look at me. Yes, I was 25-1, but I had 100+ wins in college. I'm a kickboxing Pan American world champion twice. I'm Muay Thai national champion. I've had hundreds of matches. You look at the stats. You bring me to pro. I'm 7-0, 2-time world champ, 3-time defending. Like stat-wise, that's pretty good. If you bring me to the UFC, I'm definitely going to do the same. I'm just hoping that the UFC sees it. And 2 is, I haven't fought in Chicago in 5 years. I have a huge fan base in Chicago. My logo is Chicago. My website is Chicago. Everything that I do represents my home, and I definitely just want to give back to my fans. And at the United Center, for me, it's like Madison Square Garden. That is my holy grail, the pinnacle of pinnacles for me. So just be able to fight there would be a dream come true.
It's like you've pretty much said everything there, and that's what I just can't get my head around how the UFC don't sit there and go, that's not a bad resume. What about this kid? He's had about 6-7 fights. What's his? He'll do. We'll have him instead. I don't understand. Like the flyweight division needs fresh blood. It needs that surge. It needs that excitement. I am bewildered. You know, each division's got their own kind of way of going things. They've got allocated fighters in each weight class. They've got like a number set to who they can have in and who they can't. But it just, I legitimately can't understand why one of the best guys outside of the UFC is not signed up. Like I look around the flyweight division, around the world as a whole. There's not. Probably there's only like 5 guys out there, maybe 5 guys out there who should really be pushing to be signed to UFC. And you're an ideal statistic for there to go into the Chicago card, really. It just makes a logical sense. A lot of times when they go to new area, if they go somewhere like Chicago or they go to Las Vegas or they go anywhere, they try to find someone who's kind of based there locally, kind of, or they've got the kind of affiliation with the area. And I just don't know why they haven't signed you up, man. So are you trying to contact? Is your manager trying to contact? How is this happening? Like, how are you trying to push them to get you, so to speak? Obviously, you don't want to push too hard so they push you away, but you've got to at least say, come on.
Yeah. Well, I've already been blocked by Nick Maynard, but it's one of those things, and he's my matchmaker, which is crazy because, you know, we're talking off air that he sent a text to the matchmakers of Titan and goes, I like Shorty. I'd love to sign him. The only problem is our flyweight division's full, and I have a bunch of other guys that I owe fights to, so if I sign Shorty, he's not going to fight for a while. So I'm like, I'm healthy. This is the first time I'm in shape. I'm not hurt. My weight is low. I was 138 yesterday, you know, so it's like I was 138 right now, so it's like, oh, man. I can take a last-minute fight if need be just to promote so I can, you know, win a fight and go to Chicago. But you're having, I believe the next fight that got scheduled for some of the fighters is like Jared Brooks and Sandoval. No offense to those 2 guys, but they're both wrestlers. That's a boring match. That's not exciting, and it just downs the flyweight division. Again, you have some of the best athletes at the flyweight division, some veterans. Like, yes, Dots is at bantamweight now, but Dotson can easily go back down the flyweight. Joseph Benavidez is the veteran from WEC. Demetrius Johnson, the best pound-for-pound athlete in the world, and Cejudo, an Olympian. You know, so you have so many people. I mean, hell, I could fight the winner or even loser of, you know, the Benavidez Pettis card. I think that's an amazing fight and a great opportunity for me as well. You know, so it's you look at the Chicago card right now. Only one person has been rumored or announced to be on the show, and or on the event. And that's Curtis Blades. You know, everyone else is from everywhere around the world. Great fighters, but not from Chicago.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, you've got to have some kind of some spice, let's say, from outside of Chicago. Makes a lot of sense. You get some new faces there, helps promote them in a new area. Just like with any events that come over from to Europe of the UFC, for example, they'll bring some flavor from maybe the US, Canada, Brazil, etc. You know, you need to spice things up, but you need to have like at least a little core, if you can, of stable, so to speak, of guys that are kind of from that area, even ladies that are maybe from the Chicago area that are impressive. I think, is it Cook again? I think she said she wanted to be on that. Was that card? Was it the Chicago one? I think it is. Maybe she's trying to get onto that one as well. You know, there's some people out there in the Chicago area, so it is frustrating. It is very frustrating, especially with Maynard blocking you. I don't know why. I don't quite understand that, because I think if you're a matchmaker for a promotion, the one thing you really want is attention from fighters, because then you can keep an eye on it. You go, okay, why does he keep hounding me? Okay, what's he doing? Like you say, what's Jose done? He's done X, Y, Z. Okay, he's been good. So why does he text them to say what you've done, but then he's blocking you? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I mean, you look at stat-wise, you look at right now, I'm ranked number 20 in the world at the flyweight division. I'm ranked above a lot of the UFC fighters because either they're not fighting or they have boring fights and no one wants to bump them up because it's not fan entertaining. So I'm ranked number 20 in the world at the flyweight division, and I'm ranked number 1 in the world outside the UFC. You know, so it's like, what else do I have to do? I'm beating all the rankings, you know, and now I'm taking risky fights. No matter who I fight, it could be a top contender or some guy like my last fight where it's just a random guy coming up. It's a risky fight because now if my light always turns off 3 times. But it's either, you know, it's a risky fight, and it's one of those things. If I lose, I lose. If I win, it's it's a good thing. But it's not a fan. I'm just beating guys that I don't want to beat. I want to beat, and I want to challenge myself against some of the best, and that's the people in the UFC.
And the UFC cut Ian McCall left, Horiguchi left. So they're two huge names that kind of left that division. I think they should not have let them two go. Even though McCall had the health things, I think they still should try to hang on to both of them. Because those two guys, they just add a good weight to that division. You think you lose two names, you need to get some quality fighters. So look, I am going to try my best to not get blocked by Maynard as first thing, but at least trying to, assist with this promotional push to get you on that card. Because for me, and a lot of other people I know as well, I've got a lot of fight fans out there that, agree that you need to be on that card and you need to be on the big stage. It's that time. It's kind of like, it's the right time for you to go there now. As much as you can go on the regional scene, you've got to go on a regional scene for how long? Like, what do they want? 20 more fights? It makes no sense. They need to accept it. They need to make one more slot in that division. The 155-pound division is stacked. Like, as in, it's the most densely filled division. They could easily cut a guy out of that division. Like, for example, there's guys in that weight class that don't need to be in the UFC, that aren't good enough to be in the UFC, and they keep them in there because it's just for marketing purposes. They could easily cut one of them and bring one in to 125, and that would just make a lot of sense. But look, I'm going to try and push it. I know you're going to try and push it, and we're going to get people in the UK, in the US. We're going to try and help promote this because we believe in you, okay? And you are doing fantastic things. You're an exciting flyweight that we want to see. You're the kind of fighter that fans can get on board with. You got the personality. You're not a douchebag. The best way to put it. You're not doing a Colby Covington.
Which is funny because I posted a picture of Colby for the fun of it, and people they didn't even read the caption. I was being positive about something negative, and everyone's like, "You're a Colby, bleep this, bleep that." I'm just like, I lost like 500 followers. I'm like, what the hell happened? Damn it, Colby. He goes, yeah, I get a lot of heat.
Yeah, he gets a lot of heat.
I mean, Colby is a great guy. He really is. Like, he is a genuine guy, but he's doing the whole WWE thing where he needs to talk the talk, and so far he's doing so. And because of it, he's making so much money. He's making so many promotions, and now, I mean, he only fought one really, really high-level guy, which is Damian Maia. Yeah. And because of that, he's bumped up and being able to say whatever he wants.
Yeah. I would still, though, like, you want to get followers, just push them over to the side. Get some of the ladies. Get some of the lady fighters in there. Get some of the lady fighters pictures. You get followers up there.
I was like, maybe I got to take a picture with him, like choking him out or something. Like, hey guys, I took care of the problem.
Yeah, that would actually be a good one. I like that. Even get pictures with like JJ. Just with the champ. Yeah, come on. Yeah, we're all good now. We're all good people. Yeah. But look, honestly, you go around different places. You keep learning. You keep evolving. And like I said, the last performance, I kind of sat there and went, I could see this kind of change in your striking. Your level changing is going up, and we're going to see that next time you go out there again. I feel like the flyweight, you're just going to terrorize people, and that's the worry I have as well. Is the regional scene, people won't want to fight you maybe because of how you perform, and it must be really hard for someone as well on your level to get a fight with.
That's how it was. I mean, you look at my last 4 fights. It's been the title fight. It's been Pedro Nobre 18-2. It's been Farkal Sharapov 17-7. Both phenomenal records. Yeah. And then Gleitson de Jesus was just another guy. He was the #1 contender, wanting the spot. I'm the small guy, 35, makes sense. He was 7-2. I was able to choke him out. And then we're looking for a fight. I go, I 100% believe in the ranking system. I believe in the whole boxing that you need to fight the best of the best, and that's what you should do. And all right, I was like, all right, cool. I beat the champion, beat the #1 contender. All right, number 2? No. All right. Number 3? No. Okay. Number 4? No. All right. Well, no one wants to fight me. Let's just find a guy. And Alberto's like, I'll fight him. So he and it's a brave thing. Yeah. Is it stupid brave? Probably. But he took an opportunity. There was no lose-lose for him. Like, yes, he got knocked out, whatever the case may be. But what if he would have won? Just one shot. That's all it takes. Yeah. And if he would have won, he would have been the new flyweight champion, taken out the hype train. It's a great opportunity. But all these guys, I mean, I've had guys call me out in the cage. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's the next fight. You're the #1 contender. And they go, no. We'll fight for the belt after you leave and make it to the UFC. And it's like, you're not doing anything. You're a fighter. Fight to fight. Yeah. Don't fight because you're like. But these people, and I get it. It's smart. It's business smart. But
yeah.
I like the respect and I appreciate it, but I'm a fighter that needs to make money too. I'm a fighter that needs to make a living and do work, and that's why I gave a shout out to my last opponent, Alberto. I was like, hey man, I appreciate what you did for me, because it was a whole Apollo Creed Rocky story of where I'm just going down, find a local guy, and see what happens. And I'm glad it all worked out well, but he took the opportunity, and so be it.
I'm the same as you. I used to be, anytime someone goes, you want to fight? I'm like, just give me the paperwork. I didn't even look at the name. I don't care who it is. I just signed up dotted line and I go down there. See, what weight class? Right, we'll make it, whatever. And that's all I care about. I was just like, I just want to fight. And I still am that way today. If you give me a name, I'll do it. If I can make that date, I'll do it. If I can't make the date, obviously that's the only time I've ever turned down a fight, because I couldn't physically be at that place on that day.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I ever had to turn down a fight. I felt awful. I even messaged the guy. I'm like, dude, I'd love to follow you, but I can't physically make it. And he's like, it's all right, man. It happens. And that's the only time. But like you say, that's what we're in here for. Sign the line.
Yeah, well, you know what's crazy? So Mick Maynard has called me 7 times, which is awesome. I think that's already a record for like the most denials that I've had to take, because it's crazy, because I feel he watches my fights and goes, oh, this guy's entertaining. Oh, but he's injured. Let's give him a call. And it's like, what?
Oh,
so
you had your cut, didn't you?
Yeah, well,
after the second last fight.
So when I fought Farkhad, I broke my hand, tore my MCL, but he gave me calls. He gave me 4 calls, 3 of them to fight on the Contender Series, which I personally, again, it was a great show, and I thought it brought up a lot of hype. I just didn't feel that I needed it. And then I was injured regardless, so I couldn't take it. Yeah. And then the last one, he's like, hey, Justin Scoggins needs a fight. Will you fight him? I'm like, yeah, when? 10 days. Dude, I'm still hurt. I still have like 2 months to recover, So no training camp. I'm fat and happy and all that stuff. And then they called me after the Gleason fight. I took a bunch of shin kicks, and I ended up having 7 stitches under my eye that were 100% fresh. So I go, well, when, what's up? What's next? He goes, Tim Elliott in 2 weeks. I go, I can't do it. I can barely even jog. I just won't take it.
You wouldn't have got cleared medically. They wouldn't have cleared you. Yeah. And
I was like, oh, okay. And then he gives me a call 2 weeks later for December 30th. He goes, how about December 30th? I'm like, I'm still injured. Like, this cut, I just got the stitches out yesterday. Like, dude, like, I like you. I know you like me, and I appreciate what you're trying to do for me, but you're only calling me because you need me, and you're not calling me because you want what I'm able to do. Like, I appreciate Justin Scoggins and Tim Elliott. Like, I'd love to fight him one day, but one, it's a big fight. And 2, if I'm injured and going in there, it's even worse, So wasn't doing it. And then this last one, I was getting ready for the fight for February 16th. He called me for UFC Charlotte. I believe it was like January 28th or something like that. And he goes, Shorty, we had some fights back out. We're going to make a whole new fight for you. Hell, I'll even give you a choice of 2 opponents. I go, yeah, awesome. Both UFC guys, they both already had fights in UFC. New guys, but they both already had fights. They both denied the fight. And because it was last minute, I go, hey, I'm not planning on making 25 until, 2.5 more weeks. Let's make 130. Or even, hell, some guys, I'll even fight 135. I don't mind it. Both guys denied the fight. And one of them, I'm not going to say any names, but one of them has been calling me out. I'm like, hold on, you said anytime, anywhere, but you denied the fight? Okay, yeah. Again, I know there's backstory. Like, for me, again, I was injured, so there's nothing I could do. Maybe they're injured. Maybe, they're just that heavy or personal problems or family problems. So I'm not going to, shun them for it because there's always a backstory. But it's like, damn it. So it's either I'm injured or UFC fighters don't want to fight me. So what am I doing?
Especially when they've just kind of got in there. If they've got a win and a loss, it's a free fight deal maybe. The last thing they want to do is risk a loss and then no new contract. Yeah. It's like you say, sometimes business over kind of fighter. That's when the manager steps in and goes, whoa, we'll make a business decision today. And then when you get the new contract, you can fight anyone. It doesn't matter. But until then, we'll make a business decision first. It sucks. It sucks. But sometimes you need someone on your shoulder, don't you, to say, just hold it up there. I've had it before. Yeah. When I got a manager and he told me, he went, just hold the horses. Don't sign nothing. Let me have a look. And then it's just it's the way that it goes, bro. And it's just it's a business as well as a fight game.
Yeah, and I promote the UFC every single time I fight because I'm on UFC Fight Pass. And you look at my social media numbers and Instagram, I'm at 15,000. No, I'm higher than some of the UFC fighters. It's like you have the UFC as a pedestal, but you don't know any social media. Like, this is the reason why people sign up, because they know you can sell tickets, they know you can promote, and I do that all the time. I could talk, so it's kind of like I'm the full package when it comes to social media, talking, the fighting style, the performance, entertaining at flyweight and bantamweight. Oh, you want to sign me? Okay.
You've got fighters, like you said that there's fighters on here that haven't got nowhere near the numbers. And,
Yeah.
and you think to yourself, you're reaching, like you say, actually, but you've got 15,000, you actually reach more because when people like it, then it starts,
Yeah.
it gets fit. So it kind of multiplies and multiplies. And that's what I mean. I was going on there to try and, there was someone I couldn't remember who had like a really low following. It was weird, but they had a low following. But look, we're going to promote you from our end. In the UK, and a friend of ours, I'm going to get friends of mine. We've got like a little group of ours, and we're going to start pumping now and annoying him.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to bug him. All right, we'll bug him just enough so he doesn't block us. Hopefully,
Which is funny. Which is funny you say that because Mick also texted the matchmaker. He goes, "I blocked Shorty because he's annoying, but man, his fans are just that much more annoying." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you guys."
He'll probably block the whole of Chicago by the end of this.
Yeah. I was like, UFC Chicago's not even happening. That's it.
Just sign him and then you don't have any problems. Exactly. Yeah. So, it's easy. Just a bit of paper, done. But look,
it's like I got the mob, yo. It's like all you gotta do is sign him, and all these problems will go away. That's it.
Hey, I've had a pleasure of speaking to you many times. I'm a fan of yours. You do great stuff out there, man. I'm always going to have you back. Always going to support you, my friend.
Appreciate that.
Before I let you go, though, go on. Give your social media shout-outs. How do people get hold of you? How do you get that number up even higher?
Yeah, so, if people want to follow me, I appreciate all the support. That's why I always do say we can, we will. Together we are Team Shorty. Without my fans or supporters, I wouldn't be anywhere. I wouldn't even be known. I could be the best fighter in the world, but if no one's behind me, what's it really matter? So, Instagram, Jose Shorty Torres. Twitter, Shorty Torres 125. Facebook, Jose Shorty Torres with quotations around Shorty. And if anyone wants to support the team, actually 20% of all my earnings go to the kids in my gym so they can travel, compete, train. These kids never make out of the neighborhood, whether the state, so I want them to go to Florida, go to the UK, go wherever to train, like I was able to do. So teamshorty.com ships worldwide. So if anybody in the UK is listening and want to buy some Team Shorty apparel, it ships all the way to the UK. And I really appreciate all the support, guys.
And those hats are great. I like those hats. You post a picture with that little lad wearing the snapback.
Yeah.
I'm actually. Nice hat.
So hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be making new apparel, which will be a light, just matching the hat with the light gray, the purple Shorty emblem with the purple hat. A lot of people like them. That's usually just fight gear stuff from my fight team, but I want to give like a personal thank you. So I'm going to make shirts that match it and make those hats. And I'm really excited. It's gonna be a nice long sleeve gray T-shirt with the a nice kind of like Mike Tyson theme where it says like Mike Tyson with the gear and stuff like that. So it's gonna be Jose Shorty Torres, stuff like that, my emblem, and it's gonna be pretty much purple and white with the gray shirt. So I'm really excited, and
sweet.
So I'm just I'm happy that people are helping. One, it doesn't just help my camp, but it helps the kids be able to compete, and helps parents that have 2, 3, 4 kids. I come from a Latino neighborhood, so we're popping up babies like crazy. So you got parents that have 4, 3, 2 kids who just can't afford to take more than one. So this really just helps lessen the load for them.
Yeah, it takes the edge off, definitely. That's a big thing. That's a beautiful thing that you do there. And you don't have to. That's the thing people don't realize.
Definitely don't have to. I definitely, I make enough to make a living. So if I'm able to get donations and stuff like that, I raffled off my shorts. And again, I'm in a Latino neighborhood, so they call it chonies. They're like, give me his chonies. So I did a raffle, and 100% of the raffle went to the kids. We raised in one night around $300. And plus my earnings right now.
We can get more than that. You need to go on Twitter and sell your gloves and stuff, man. I'm telling you, sign those gloves, you sell them online on Twitter, and you will personalize them. I'm telling you will get more than that, and you will get more for those kids. I'm telling you.
So I just like doing things in my neighborhood. So like the kid with the hat, he's just like, "You're my favorite fighter." I'm like, all right, so I started giving stuff away after my fights, or even my team immediately. Like my brother's my biggest fan. And he used to collect the Michael Jordan stuff and stuff when he was very, very famous back in the day. So he has a chest probably worth thousands of dollars of just old Michael Jordan memorabilia. Nice. For me, he thinks I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan, which I appreciate. I love. He thinks I'm going to be the next Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali. So after every fight, I'm like, where's my mouthpiece? Where are my gloves? Like, I was going to give it to this kid. Where are my shorts? And he's like, he'll come later. He's like, oh, you wanted this? I'm like, yeah. Or he'll come up and he goes, hey, can you sign these shorts? I'm like, are those my shorts? He goes, yeah, why? Could I have them? I was like, Sure, but dude, tell me, So
Yeah.
it's really funny, but that's what I'm trying to do is give away some of myself, help the kids, and if it's for a good cause, that's again, I grew up poor. I definitely needed help when growing up, and I did things that I didn't have to do or shouldn't have done, just to make a little money and get out of the neighborhood. So I'm very happy to be able to give back.
Nice, man. That's beautiful. Look, we are going to promote you, like I said, like we're Titan FC. All right, we're going to push you, and we're going to get you. We're going to bug Nick McMahon, sorry, and we're going to get you on there. Might even drop Sean Shelby in the tweets as well, just to bug him. Even though he's very
Shit.
rarely on, Sean is very rarely on Twitter. I think he's
Yeah.
on there, but what he does is he hardly ever tweets. He just sits there and watches and
Yeah.
reads, and every now and then he'll pop a tweet and then he'll go off it. That's what he does. Sean's devious like
Smart.
that. He's
Smart.
smart. I've met Sean, lovely bloke, and he does. Sean watches the Titan cards. I can tell you that much. All right, I was watching the cards with him. That's how I know he watches them. All right.
Why
So
why can't he be my matchmaker?
I know, I know. Well, he was back then. He was your matchmaker.
No.
Before though, before you had your, I think you probably already had one fight since then though. But that was a
Yeah.
couple of years back, man. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. If I'd known then, if it was only then, I could have sorted it out. But sadly, not. I got Brett. I helped with discussion with Brett Johns and Andre Harrison, all those guys. So we having chats about that, and Desmond Green.
I just want to say I'm going to post a picture sometime next week of me mimicking one of Brett John's posts because I hang out with Flex Lewis, which is also from Wales, and so they have the Wales flag and all that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so Brett Johns has that whole Rocky look where he's like, so
Yeah.
I'm holding up the flag doing the Brett Johns look. So I'm really excited to put it out there. And I'm a
in
fan of
there.
Brett Johns. I don't personally know him, but him and I on social media definitely have some fun. And he's a cool guy. He's a former Tennessee champ before I was. Tim Elliott's a former Titan FC champ. So all three of us get along very, very well. And, hell, I might fight both of them one day. I think it'd be a huge honor.
Brett is great, honestly. Met him several times. Such a nice bloke. Such a guy.
Yeah.
I message him and we have laughs. He's got a good sense of humour. You'll enjoy that, man. You'll enjoy that a lot. Trust me, you'll enjoy that. Look,
Excited.
I'll let you go, Jose, because you are a busy man. I know you are. So thank you so much for your time as always. We'll speak soon. And again, I'm going to pump your social media, and we'll get you try and get you on that UFC Chicago card, my friend. With support pushing it, I think it only makes sense because it should help with ticket sales and viewership, etc. All right.
I appreciate it.